Earlier today, I made a quick video that was like a minute long about how excited I was Formula's back in the format at 2. Okay, getting weird text messages and just whatever. Anyway, I still don't like how I looked unshaven. Um, anyway, round of 16, I'm gonna call that instead of part 5. And here's the bracket. Yeah, I mean, anyway, I'm glad that initially, okay, I technically did cheat because, well, I didn't cheat. I purposely ensured that Painful Choice and Chaos Emperor Dragon were not going to go against each other because I didn't want to talk about that till now. So that was, I just put them on other sides of the bracket. I guess that's the only non-random part I did. Um, anyway, first pairing we have Brionic versus Machiora. Most people have never played with Machiora. To be honest, I don't remember. Maybe I'm getting old in my old age of 23, and I don't remember. Wasn't Machiora around for like a day, a month, a week, 0 weeks? I don't know. I think he came out in Dark Beginnings 1, but it was hit pretty shortly. I don't really remember, but the point was Machiora should never be around because its existence, along with Temple of the Kings, allows for other certain cards just not to ever be printed. It's the same dilemma that we have with machine duplication. Why that you can't have machine duplication and other broken cards under, like, that's what Card Trooper is. It too. I honestly think so. I mean, sure, Card Trooper is a really good card elsewise, but I mean, maybe without like that new stupid little gear that's coming out, I can't. That I think Machine Dupe has to get hit at that point finally, just because you can't keep that around. And that's the same thing with Machiora and Temple of the Kings. Is it kind of, if you kept those around, you just be limited on what trap cards you could print, because the point of a trap card is not to be able to play it immediately, and that kind of is a that limit not limits its power, like what's the word, not limits, I can't think of a stupid word, but not staunches its power, but kind of reins it in a little bit. So well, those are very good cards. I'm just going to eliminate both of them in this round because there's no point in talking about that. It, not saying that it gets to a point of like Pot of Greed or something where it's like amazing always and there's nothing really you can say about it, but it's not something that you can really compare to other cards because, I mean, eventually it's just not going to be good enough. Like, the idea behind it is really good, but it's just not as great right now. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually give it to Brionic because I love Brionic as a card, and it's, I mean, we've Brionic with Mermails around and all this crap. Brionic's just so freaking good. Um, really glad Brionic's banned, and it's gonna stay banned probably forever. Next we have Disc Commander versus Mirage of Nightmare. I could see, this is where I'm having deja vu, where I could have sworn I made this video already, because Disc Commander, Disc Commander is like a better version of Mirage of Nightmare. Mirage of Nightmare can be hit by MST, about 10 other things, and then it just doesn't. It's randomness. It's not like you get to choose which card you get to discard or send, whatever it is. So the fact that Disc Commander is so broken, I mean, you could honestly play like full. You could play, if you could abuse Disc Commander, you would abuse it in every deck. I don't see why you wouldn't, because it's just infinite draws and 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 draws. Next is Spellbook of Judgment versus Exchange of the Spirit. I actually played in Traditional not too long ago with an Exchange of the Spirit deck, and that's surprisingly inconsistent. Like, sure, it's really good, but I mean, there's certain ways to stop it. Stupid Droll and Lockbird is actually one of them. That's annoying. But enough about that. The point is, I think Spellbook of Judgment's a better card than that. Exchange of the Spirit is, sure, it's good enough to make the top 16, but it requires a lot of setup and and you have to draw very quickly, or else you're not going to win. Spellbook of Judgment is never really a bad. I mean, don't you? If you're one of those people that's like, what about Naturia Beast? You can go die in a hole, because that's not the point of this argument. Naturia Beast is an isolated instrument. Spellbook of Judgment is never really a bad card. I mean, you play Spellbook of Judgment and you play a freaking Toon Table of Contents, and you just get summon a level 3 monster and add all these cards to your hand. And yeah, that's fair. Crush Card Virus versus Shockmaster. I'm actually glad to see Shockmaster finally lose. I think I've been giving Shockmaster a little too much credit in previous rounds, and Crush Card Virus is a phenomenal card. I mean, sure, the requirements are really... See, I'm pretty sure I'm going crazy here, because I could have sworn I made this video before. Crush Card Virus beats Shockmaster pretty easily. On the next side, we have Painful Choice versus Cold Wave. Yeah, I'm gonna end up giving it to not Cold Wave, Painful Choice. Sure, we all remember Hoplomys Cold Wave, and your opponent just couldn't do anything because if you had a Bestiary or Prisma or anything like that, you could just steamroll your opponent from there. But Painful Choice is, even if Painful Choice just said send 5 cards, that's few. I was about to say, even then, it'd just be a good card, not a great card. But 5, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I mean, the fact that, I don't even want to talk about Painful. We're not even bothering. Cold Wave dies. Next is Substitoad versus Sixth Sense. Substitoad has the power to basically throw any amount of. Obviously, you have to play a themed deck, but the thing is, you can throw any number of. You can, depending on what the purpose of your deck is. Things like Substitoad is better than Mind Master in this sense, and probably in other senses too. But it doesn't cost any life points, and you can basically throw any number. With a 2-card investment, you can throw any number of cards from your deck to your graveyard there, so you can fill up your graveyard as much as you want to. I'm not saying you should use what's that card, Blasting the Ruins or anything, but Substitoad is probably the best way to diarrhea your deck, and that's why it's banned. And Sixth Sense is, a third of the time it's bad. You never want to hit 1 or 2, regardless, because you're never going to call 1 or 2, so you never actually want to hit 1 or 2, and 1 or 2 is never going to net you enough gain. And even if it does actually profit you somehow, there's going to be enough instances otherwise where it's going to screw you over. Sixth Sense doesn't necessarily generate in card advantage. If you're down on your luck and your opponent's about to kill you, you can't flip Sixth Sense unless you're going to draw Gores or something. Or like mill 3 Necrogardenas, whatever. Card Safe Return versus Temple of the Kings. I already talked about why Machiora is kind of, I think, going to fall out in this round, because I'd rather talk about the power of more other cards rather than get into a very simplistic, well, this is a game mechanic and you can't really beat it, or it should inherently be beaten, kind of like Pot of Greed. So Card Safe Return is going to beat out Temple of the Kings. And then last but not least, in the round of 16, we have Mind Master versus Chaos Emperor Dragon, and I'm just going to... Mind Master is basically a worse Substitoad, and Chaos Emperor Dragon blows up everything, and I don't... Why do I need to discuss that? I mean, I'd much rather... Chaos Emperor Dragon is just a much better card than Mind Master. Sorry. Alright, well now you get to see my face again, because I'm pretty, minus the whole... I don't like a shaved face. I need a beard back. And here are your top 8. We have Brionac, Disc Commander, Spellbook of Judgment, Crush Card Virus, Painful Choice, Substitoad, and Card of Safe Return, and Chaos Emperor Dragon. Cool. Well, we will see how this goes next round, but guess I'm going to roll some die and try to randomize everything. And now that there's only 8, just in that round, I wanted to make sure Painful Choice and Chaos Emperor Dragon didn't get it. But I guess anything could happen in this next round. Looking at these, I can already tell you which would... unless it's very unfortunate for a certain number of cards, I can already probably tell you which 4 are going to make it to the final 4. But, I mean, I guess you can figure that out for yourself, suckers. Ha!